Hello boys and girls, the synopsis says it all. This video is going to quickly touch up on how Airborne affects aerial insect glaive combat and how the aerial insect glaive combat itself isn't really as bad as speedrunners may make you think. Now, do keep in mind, I am by no means a speedrunner or a high skill player. I am the quintessential average player. I haven't done hardly any deco farming. I have very few decorations. As you can see, my skills are all over the place. The only one that really I went for is the airborne skill specifically to showcase how much it can improve the aerial combat in the game now. But I'm not I'm not going to be setting any world records here, and you'll see that here if you decide to stick around and watch the videos. The point of this video, and the reason I'm making this, is because there has not been much in the way of updated opinions or information since Iceborne was first released, and with Wilds being announced, there are a lot of returning and new players to World. And you can't find answers to questions that you may be having. And I know this because I had those questions, and that's why I'm making this video. One such being, is Airborne any good for the aerial insect glaive? And the majority answer that you're going to find if you look that up is not really, because Airborne only affects the last attack in the airborne attack combos, like your helicopter skill. It only affects the last hit, and that was true prior to the Iceborne update. Whenever they updated Iceborne, they put in the patch notes that Airborne now affects all aerial attack hits, not just the last hit of the glaive. So now all hits when airborne with the glaive are boosted by 30%. Now, ground attacks are still going to be more powerful, you're still going to do more damage, but that does close the gap by a wide enough margin that it is perfectly viable for you to pull your weight in multiplayer or do just fine in single player if you want to be a little heavy with your airborne spam. And that's pretty much the point of the video. Now, I've recorded 3 clips. The first one that you're seeing here is entirely ground-based combo. I do not use any aerial attacks at all. I do vault once just to close distance, but otherwise there's no aerial combat involved. This is just entirely how fast can I take out this little chicken with the ground combos and nothing else. I've tried to keep the gameplay relatively balanced. I'm not going to worry about trying to clutch claw or use any food boosts or anything like that. It's just the build that I have and nothing else. One thing that I do make a point to do is sharpen right when I get to green. Green sharpness, and try to maintain my Kinsect buff. That's pretty much the only rule that I'm following for this video. Now, this particular run was the first run that I did, and I didn't feel like redoing it, so I'm going to credit this with with a reduction of 15 seconds to the clear time, because I was pretty slow at the quest start, and there was a little period here where I failed to up my Kinsect buffs, and that hurt the DPS enough that I feel like giving this a 15-second credit is pretty fair. The other two went pretty smoothly. The next 2 clips in this video are a purely aerial combat with the finish time, which was slower than the first one. It's slower than the ground combat, but not by much. And then the third one is my favorite playstyle, which is a healthy mix of both, but it's an aerial combat focus with ground punish when the monster is knocked down or staggered or paralyzed. And that was a far faster clear time. So yeah, if you want to stick around for the video, enjoy. You'll see the clear times at the end and pretty much how it plays out. But yeah, I think overall, no matter how you want to play with this weapon, you'll do just fine. And you can ignore, for the most part, you can ignore the speedrunners and the hardcore meta fans who will stress about 2% difference. It's not really something you as an average player will need to worry about. Unless you're trying to set world records, play the way you want to play, and don't worry about what anyone else says. Not gonna lie, when I decided to test this out, I totally expected a purely aerial playstyle to be like 50% longer than ground based or the mixed. So this was a big surprise for me. Alright, that's it for this video. If you stuck around to the end, I appreciate you watching. And just remember, play your way.